The name Major General Paul Ufoma Omu is one that will indeed strike a chord wherever and whenever it is mentioned across Nigeria. Born in Oteri, IGBIDE Kingdom, in ISOKO South local government area of Delta State on the 1st of July 1940, General Omu joined the Nigerian Army on 10th of December 1962. In an interview to commemorate his 80th birthday in 2020, General Omu recalled how he joined the Nigerian Army.
When I was writing my school set, an uncle approached me that since I was interested in uniform service, there was an interview for the customs. He wanted me to join. In spite of the fact that I liked the uniform then, custom did not really suit me. I didn't really like it. The reason why I did not was they asked for something before taking my application. So I told my uncle, I said, look, I can't go for a service now and pay for it when I have not entered.
At that time, they asked for some kind of gratification.
Yes. Those doing it may not be those at the top, but those handling the applications and the exam. So I did not join. The advert for the army came, I applied. We were about 70 or 80 thereabout who were called for the interview. On the Saturday morning where they called the results, we sat on the floor in the field. And they started calling the results. I had my name among the first few that were selected. I couldn't believe my ears. And they said we were to report 10 December 1962 to start the course. Now, the other surprising thing was, after a few months training, a select few were to go abroad for further training. There I was, the day we finished the Kaduna course, we were free to go out. So I went visiting friends. At about 8 o'clock, somebody was looking for me. They said, look, come. The first results are out. 6 of you are selected to go to England. And they are going by Wednesday, and this was on a Sunday. And they had to sew me, a tailor was around to sew us a suit, a jacket. You can imagine what a jacket will look within 24 hours. So that was how I rushed back to the barracks, got myself measured. By 2 days from that time, a Land Rover took us to Kano Airport, and we were airborne. So that's how my military training started in the UK. And when we finished, I was brought back, first posting to Kaduna, 5th Battalion.
He trained at the then Nigerian Military Training College and the Mons Officer Cadet School, Aldershot, in the United Kingdom before his commissioning on the 25th of July 1963. General Omu went on to have a sterling military career laced with several milestones, which include commander of the 13th Infantry Brigade and his subsequent appointment in July 1975 as the military governor of the southeastern state, which is today Cross River and Akwa Ibom states. He also served as a member of the Supreme Military Council in 1978 by the virtue of his command of the 3rd Mechanized Infantry Brigade in Kano. General Omu also served as a member of the Armed Forces Ruling Council between 1985 and 1988 under General Ibrahim Babangida, who was his course mate back at the Nigerian Military Training College, as well as other strategic postings across different army formations in the country. It was during this time that General Omu chaired a subcommittee of the Armed Forces Ruling Council that made the recommendations leading to the establishment of the Oil Mineral Producing Areas Development Commission, OMPADEC, in 1993, and a 1.5% derivation to oil-producing areas. In 1990, General Omu voluntarily retired from the army but continued to serve Nigeria quietly from the background, while also giving back to his immediate community, the ISOKO nation in Delta State. One of the positions he took on was the president of the ISOKO Development Union, where he championed initiatives that strengthened cohesion and advanced development across ISOKO communities.
If there is one great man that ISOKO can talk about, is His Excellency General Omu. For some persons, they will be thinking that General Omu is dead. But let me tell us, men don't die. When common men die, people sit to sorrow. But fortunately, General Omu is not one of those common men. We sit down to do a reflection on his legacies. And his legacies are the type that will always illuminate the human path towards greater heights. General Omu loves peace, and as a result, if there was one product this man was willing to sell amongst people, was peace. Again, beyond peace, this man again characteristically is a man who has enormous love to show to humanity at all times. When we visit him, if you have not had the privilege of having a granite bite in ISOKO land, if there is one place where you can forcefully talk about eating granite before you leave, is General Omu's house. Because he's a man who loves his people.
General Paul Ufoma Omu also served as Director General of the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, NIPS, Kuru, between 1990 and 1992. He returned to the institution in 2009 as chairman of its governing board. After what many say was a fulfilled life, General Omu passed on the 29th of April 2025 after a brief illness. He was 84 years old at the time of his death. The legacies of the late statesman shone brightly recently as family, friends and well-wishers, including officers and men of the Nigerian army, bid him farewell. The 10-day burial ceremonies started with a service of songs at the All Saints Anglican Church, Wuse Zone 5, Abuja, on the 20th of November 2025. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo was represented at the event by former Chief of Defense Staff General Alexander Ogomudia.
He's calm, gifted, unassuming, yet profoundly effective. Now, the former president's respect for General Omu didn't start just because he died. He had known him all along, right from the time he was the military administrator in Cross River State, and all the time, all through till he came back to the service. He served as military secretary. I remember he was a brigade commander in Maiduguri. I was then commanding the regiment in Kaduna. He then acted as GOC briefly. The general was deeply committed to excellence and fairness, and he always insisted that merit must triumph at all times. Those who know him will know this very quality about him. He doesn't cut corners, he must do it the way it should be done. I can testify to this because I served under his command while he was commandant of Command and Staff College. Lastly, let me say that history will remember him kindly, having left a legacy, not by noise, but by quiet, consistent dignity of life lived in excellence.
The event saw a crowd of political leaders, clergymen, and former associates of the late general who shared different lessons with the late elder statesman.
I have known the family for a long time. In fact, if you read the story, the church the general built I had the privilege to dedicate it in their hometown. So what has been said, there was no exaggeration. The man was a saint of God, as much as human beings can be. He was a good man. And then our mommy here, I think God arranged it for them to marry, to complement each other. And I have faith in the continuation of the family without trouble.
Apart from his humility, patience, and determination for excellence, he was also a man of ideas. He gave me wonderful ideas in terms of when you are speaking to the people, when you are addressing the public. Don't make the mistake of assuming that the people that are listening to you are not examining what you are saying. So since that comment to me, whenever I've been asked to speak either on television, so every outing is an examination. Because if you fail once, you are gone. General, I was very, very careful. I want to thank you for really advising me. And if you agree with me, can you put your hands together again for General Omo? Wonderful man.
Few men encourage their wives to do what they are doing than General Paul Omo. He encouraged her. There was no meeting that pertained to politics, which she chose as a vocation that he never supported her. Not many men. And then coming to Niger Delta issues, South-South People's Assembly, South-South People's Group, all these groups, Senator Stella Omo, the former chief whip of the Senate, was at every meeting. And at the end of the meeting, General Paul Omo will come to pick her and take her back home. General Paul Omo, may the angels take this message to you. You taught us how to take care of our wives, how to make them big, how to promote them. And you made this woman the shining and beautiful star that she still is.
On behalf of the Chief of Army Staff, we are here today to pay our tribute and our respect to a man of God, our brother and superior, Major General Paul Omo. Not only have people from this congregation and community gathered, but many have come who have respected him as a minister and as a soldier, who have also loved him as a friend. We know and we perceive that in the army, that to know him was to love him. Major General Paul Omo's life was a testament to his faith, dedication, and service to others. As a Major General, he served his country with honor and distinction.
From there, the family headed to Asaba, the capital city of Delta State, where the governor, Right Honorable Sheriff Oborewori, his wife, his deputy, Sam Monde Onyeme, and others joined them for another service of songs.
He was born into simplicity. He was not just born and he became a major general. He was not just born, he became a great man and started attending to people. But it's the grace of God that sustained him. Of course, we thank God that we are here gathered in this service to mark his glorious exit, a dedicated soldier, a disciplined administrator, a father, a grandfather, a patriot, and a man of honor.
While alive, General Omo was known to be a friend of children, always relishing and enjoying their company. These little ones also joined to bid their hero goodbye.
Late Major Chief Paul Omo, the story does not end here. It continues through us, through those in nurturing, through those in fostering, through those in care.
We gathered here today not because death has won, but because love refuses to stay silent. We'll remember
The next port of call was ISOKO House in Ole, where the ISOKO Development Union organized a lecture and day of tribute for the late general, with former INEC resident electoral commissioner for Akwa Ibom and Cross River State, Mike Igine, delivered a paper on the life and times of General Omo.
For some of us who have been in public office, given how General conducted himself, was in his respect of when he was a member of the Lagos anti-corruption zone set up by the Buhari administration. Now, in one of the interviews that General granted on the 22nd of February 2016, they asked him a question. What does he feel about the corruption today in our country? With respect to the 80 years jail term they handed over to politicians of the Second Republic for issues involving just 1 million or less than 1 million naira. So he said that when he was appointed, because of his quiet nature, very quiet man, that we were saying that this man that is very quiet, can he convict anybody and all that? He said he laughed because he knows what he's going to do is going to be based on evidence. The way he conducted the tribunal was what led to the first problem that Gani had. Leave shape Gani for me, because Gani went to observe the proceeding headed by our general, and Gani came out to publicly declare that the way and manner the general conducted the tribunal is far better than our regular court system. That was what Gani said. That was when Gani started having issues with the system because of the declaration of what General said.
The representative of the governor of Delta State, Honorable Solomon Funkekeme, also spoke on the legacies of the late illustrious son of the ISOKO nation.
As a professional soldier, he defended the sovereignty of our nation with uncommon dedication and valor. As an administrator, he brought clarity, order, and conviction every assignment. As a statesman, he lent his wisdom to the shaping of our democratic institutions. And as a community leader, he remained a steady pillar of guidance, integrity, and dignity for the ISOKO people of all Deltas.
Other dignitaries speaking during a panel session used the life and legacies of the deceased to draw a parallel with the state of affairs in the country.
General would never want to be in a position where he will have his hands stained. He was a man that was just pure and simple, very straightforward, a man of processes. If you follow the process, you will get what you are supposed to get. But to bribe your way through was not something he believed in at all. He believed that the Niger Delta was a very richly blessed region and we should get more. In fact, in my last interview with him, we talked about the Niger Delta so much. Everything he had was just regret about the kind of people we have put in positions. And that with the kind of people we have who go to office with the very simple reason to amass wealth for themselves, no matter what you give to the Niger Delta, it will not translate into any development, except you have people who are selfless, who want to actually help the region, who do not want to put money in their private pockets. But I say again, where will you get those kind of people today? It's very, very difficult.
He didn't have to bribe his way to any position. It is not a question of, oh, admit my child here or there. We must therefore learn to allow people to struggle for what they have to earn and what they do. Because Nigeria is getting so bad and people's embezzling and stealing so much money because they feel they can just get this money without labor. If we allow our society, allow our children to labor, work hard for what they get, it will be good. He wanted women to do well in the society, and that is something we look forward to in Nigeria. He was a he for she, don't forget it.
Some 25 years ago, and I think he too is here to bear me witness, about 13, 15 of us, we approached him after putting ourselves together as a group, and we demanded of him leadership. It is this group today that has formed the political foundation of the modern politics in ISOKO. It was under his leadership and guidance that we grew. I'm sure, I think Arausi was with us in that movement. Chief Arausi, who was then in charge of the community bank, and was occasionally funding that movement. Today, most people who are holding positions in ISOKO don't know the basis and the foundation. But whoever is in ISOKO politics today grew from one of these branches out of those 13, 15 people who came together under the leadership of General Paul UFUOMA.
I'm happy to announce to you that as of today, through his effort, Emide and Ide are living peacefully together. In fact, to attest to that, and today we are at peace. This to attest to the fact that the man is a man of peace, the man is a man that is selfless, and the man is a man who is willing to do a lot.
The array of dignitaries then filed to IGBIDE, the hometown of General Omo, where another service of songs was held on Friday, 27th November 2025. ISOKO sons and daughters from the entire 19 kingdoms poured into IGBIDE, his hometown, to pay their last respects to the man who held the traditional title of Otoke of ISOKO land. Saturday 29th, 2025 came and IGBIDE swarmed with people as officers of the Nigerian army took the lead in the final burial rites for their late distinguished officer. The governor of Delta State, Sheriff Oborewori, former governor Chief James Onanefe Ibori, Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa and other top government functionaries also attended the church service to pay their last respects before the remains of General Omo was laid to rest. Anglican Archbishop of Bendel Province and the Bishop of Ughelli Diocese, Most Reverend Cyril Odutemo, who preached the sermon at the funeral service, encouraged the people to lead worthy lives in service of God and humanity, just like General Omo did.
I continue to look at a nation if these people are sure that there will be judgment and our troops will be falling, our serving gallant men will be falling, a brigadier general will fall, and Nigeria looked at it and just watched on. And people are afraid to speak the truth because they will be invited for questioning. Our troops are falling in the battlefront. Their widows have no accommodation. And Nigeria is integrating those who kill the troops. We thank God that we have General here today to bury. If when he went to quell the riot in Benue area, if he had died in the troop, in the war, will you bring him here? How many of our men have died? General Omo put his life on line. As early as 1962, he has candidated into the army, willing to die for Nigeria. Those of you who are opportune to be in office, and there will be spaces for employment, and you people shortchange the poor. judgment of God is coming. If this man should change ISOKO, some of these generals that are in ISOKO now, will you see them today?
The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Waidi Shuaibu, was represented at the funeral service by Major General Oluwafemi Williams.
In every appointment he held, he demonstrated unwavering determination, diligence, and commitment to achieving predefined objectives. The late senior officer was a brilliant, resourceful, and hard-working officer. He was a disciplined, confident, diligent, and professional officer with impeccable integrity.
From the church, the crowd proceeded to the interment ground, where the military gave the late general the customary 21-gun salute reserved for distinguished military officers before his body was lowered into the ground. A reception followed immediately, where well-wishers, including those who had worked with the late Army General, shared memories of their encounters.
I recall when I was going to the university, I wanted to read law, and it was my first degree choice, sociology second choice. I had 3 points short of the cut-off mark. And I came to him and said, "Sir, I only have 3 marks short. Can you give me a note to the VC so that I will go and read law?" I know what he told me. He said, "Sam, I will not give you, I'll give you a note. Go to the university and take sociology that I have given you as second choice. If I give you mail notes for you to be admitted to read law, when you read law and you fail in the exam, you will come back to me to give you another note." For me, it was wickedness. But when I grew up, I realized the wisdom.
Family members said they are proud of their late patriarch.
What I knew my brother for, which I'm proud of, is that he touched the lives of many people, and I can say unequivocally that he contributed to the present Nigerian state, from the creation of the ABUJA, from the creation of the University of Calabar, from the creation of UNPADEC, which is now NDDC. He had a hand in all of them. But most importantly, everywhere he served, integrity was the watchword. And I'm proud to have been his younger brother.
In one word, excellence, that's all that it stands for. It's a man of excellence, a man of integrity, a man of purpose. And if only half of Nigerians can be like him, we'll be a much better place as Nigerians.
When I first met him, I thought he was a very stern person, but subsequently I got to understand he was a very loving father, a great carer, a builder of community, an inspiration to so many people. Like you would have seen all the people that turned out today to celebrate his life and celebrate his time. He was a great person, a hero of Nigeria and a hero of his community.
After a successful series of ceremonies, the family was back again in church on Sunday morning for an outing service. The ISOKO traditional leaders who could not join the family for the burial procession the day before due to cultural restrictions that forbade them from attending funerals, however, joined the family for the outing service. The immediate pastor Lodi of IGBIDE Kingdom is survived by his beloved wife, Senator Stella Omo, 6 children and several grandchildren and extended family relations. Though Major General Paul UFUOMA Omo retired, had transited to the great beyond, his legacies and memories will continue to live in the hearts of his people, army formations and government institutions which he headed. His footprints are already in the sands of time, and his kinsmen as well as the ISOKO nation will continue to tell the remarkable and enviable story of this great elder statesman to the generations yet unborn. Indeed, General Omo was an officer and a gentleman.
Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at NDN TV Nigeria. Click on the subscribe button and be the first to get notifications.